have colluged our phone system together here. Okay, so we've got the same phone numbers. All of that is good. I don't know what's going to happen next week. We have to import numbers. We've got a new... we have a new system. We have new numbers. We have to exchange those numbers, and we've got to import and get all of that stuff set up. And it's a very difficult thing to do. We didn't pull it off. We worked on it for the last 3-4 days, and they're saying it's going to be ready tomorrow. Well, okay. It just didn't get ready for tonight. So we had to go back and just get everything put together for the show tonight, and I am doing the best that I can in answering the phones and stuff. So and I'm looking here. It looks like it's going to be a little bit difficult. I'm going to see what is happening. The calls are coming in, and let's see if I can answer one. How's that? Okay, let's see what's going on over here with this one. Okay, so let's try. I can't even view numbers now. Oh, man, this is just a drag. Okay, so let's go to area code 571. You're up first.
Jimmy.
Yes.
Oh, great. I'm first one. Hey, it's David in Virginia.
Hey, David.
So I want to talk to you tonight about some secret space program stuff. And I scribbled some notes, where did I put them? But, so my father, here's my notes. My father was in the Air Force. He flew Voodoos in Vietnam.
Okay.
And so I have a history with the Air Force, and I still work for the Air Force now as a contractor working on computers. I'm sorry, Jimmy. Let me just plug my battery in.
Okay, you got to call me back when you're ready to go. Okay? All right. Just call me back when you're ready to go. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Oh, Jimmy.
Inquire Within. How you doing, Brad?
Oh, yeah.
Everything good?
Doing good. It's going great. How are you, my good sir?
I'm doing good, man. You need to speak up, though. You need to speak up.
Oh, man, I swear, my phone must really be bad for this. Okay, so this is what I'm calling for tonight, sir.
What's up?
Tonight, I'm looking for some wisdom of your production skills.
Okay.
I'm thinking about doing something real weird for recording the vocals for this album I'm doing.
Okay.
And so what I'm thinking about doing is I want to record my vocals in my car off somewhere where there's some epic scenery.
Okay.
So what I did is I got one of those, I don't even know if you call them, like a vocal shield sort of thing, that you attach to the back of it.
Okay.
So aside from that, how do you think I could get the best sound possible from being in a car?
Man, what I would I would do two things. Well, do you want it to sound like a studio, or do you want it to sound remote and maybe a little broken up? I mean, what's the goal here? I mean, we don't have to go into a long conversation, but I can tell you one of two ways to go. So, do you want it to sound produced, or do you want it to stand out and sound different?
For the vocals, I'm going for a good studio-produced sound. So I'm going to be doing a lot of effects and manipulating with them.
Okay, then this is what you do. This is what I would do. Do you have, I've got I don't have one here. I do on the other side of the bunker. But I've got the Tascam remote recorders, right? And with the microphones built in. And those mics, and there's compressors and everything else. Those mics sound amazing. So you will be able to get a totally professional sound that will capture things around you too as well. But the closer you get to the microphone, the more studio sound it'll be, right? It'll sound like this, or it can sound like this, or it can sound like this, depending on your proximity to the mic. But then this is what I would do. Okay? All right? Now, I'm going to invoice you later and send you a bill for the tip that I'm about to give you.
Oh, crap.
Okay? All right? Are you ready?
All right.
So you capture your vocals, you're cool. Now you go back to the studio, upload that into your software, and you get your track and you do it, right? Okay, now it's in your music, right? Okay. Then this is what you do. You take a 57, right? A Shure SM57, put it on a microphone stand. Yep. Put that on a microphone stand, on a boom. Then you're going to solo that track. Just the vocals that you recorded in the guitar in the car. You are going to take the 57 and you are going to put that on your studio monitor's speaker, like you're recording a guitar. And it's soloed. Then you're going to take that track and record it to another track. Okay.
Oh, Jimmy, you're going to charge me a lot.
Okay. Are you picking up what I'm putting down?
Yep.
Okay. So you've got two tracks. You've got your original track, which you're going to use, and now you've got your re-recorded track with the 57 of the same vocal, but it's not going to cancel itself out. Right? You're not going to have any phasing issues because it's recorded through a speaker and it's going to be different frequencies and it's recorded on a 57. Now you have another track. You take that track that you just recorded with the 57 and you compress it. And then you take that second track and that goes up underneath on the fader, right? You got two faders. You got your original track and your second track that you just recorded with the 57 and you've compressed it. And you bring that up underneath your original track. Now you've got gold. Okay? Now, you can take that same idea that I just gave you. You can do it with a kick drum. Re-record your kick drum a second time with the 57. You can re-record cymbals. You can re-record your guitar track. And you take that second track that's recorded off of the speaker with the 57, and that's your manipulation. And you want to compress it. And then when you push it up, the compression is the secret. And when you push it up, it makes it louder in the track, way louder, but your meters don't move. They don't move. Sounds louder. It's incredible, but yet the meters aren't moving. And so now what I have just given you is what all of the producers across this country never share. They never share it. They don't share this kind of secret stuff because they keep the good stuff to themselves. And you always wonder, how do they get that sound? How does Peter Taggart get that sound? How does, so-and-so, how do they do this, right? Well, I just gave it to you.
I think you know how magicians aren't supposed to give stuff away.
I just
might have just you might have angered a lot of people right there.
That's it. Now, and what I want you to do is get back to me, okay? Go have fun. I just changed your world.
Yep, you definitely did.
All right,
Are you ready for hypocrisy?
I am. So, everybody, I'm just going to throw you under the bus a little bit. Brett's going to be coming down here to Los Angeles, and he's going to be my guest, and we're gonna go see Hypocrisy together here in downtown Los Angeles, March 15th. That's going to be a great night. It's Friday night too. Oof, man, downtown LA. So yeah, we're all set up, and I can't wait for it, man.
This is going to be a good year.
I'll see you.
Good year, Mr. Church.
Enjoy the rest of your night. Now go have some mixing and producing.
Thank you, sir.
I'll talk to you. Bye, Brett.
All right. See ya.
That's Brett from Inquire Within, live right here on Fade to Black. some of the coolest music. He just sent me his a demo reel of his latest stuff. I think some of you might have heard it too as well. But I sat there and listened to each track. It was absolutely incredible. Okay, I think I got David back. David, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Thanks, Jimmy, for taking my call back. Sorry I wasn't ready before.
Okay, let's go. What do you got?
So I wanted to tell you, like, what I think I know about the military space program through my father, who was a fighter pilot in Vietnam and based out of Vandenberg, that, you know, just in the recent history, I've learned Vandenberg may have been a military base of launches for secret military space launches. And I know my father was based in Vandenberg. I was only 2 years old then. But I'm in Virginia now, and that's because my father's wingman got shot down in Vietnam, and it turned out his wingman was a general's son. And my father reported that wingman dead in the jungle. He saw the plane crash, but the general came to my father to change his story. You know, say he was missing in action, because apparently the widow would have gotten more money if missing in action than like dead in action. And my father refused to change his story, which is why my father, after 25 years in the Air Force, retired a major and not a colonel. In fact, my father was pretty mad that I got a job with the DOD working for the Air Force, because he told me, don't get mixed up in that bureaucratic mess. I never knew what he meant until that story about the general's son that I just learned last year. But, so there's my dad, apparently maybe had some information working at Vandenberg, because like I said, I just recently realized Vandenberg could have been a launch site for such things.
So what'd you find out?
So in like the 1970s, when I was like 10 or 11 years old, my mom and dad got separated, and I'd visit my dad in St. Louis. And one thing we used to do is take a fishing boat out on the Lake of the Ozarks at night and, you know, putter out to the middle of the lake, stop the motor, and look up at the stars. And my dad would tell me stuff about what we're looking at. You know, it would start with, there's the moon, there's the constellation, and then he would predict satellites. He said, look, son, in 10 minutes you're going to see something moving across the sky. That's satellite ComSat 12. So, you know, he would show me satellites. And then there would be other things. We would see something that was not predictable, not a satellite. I'm like, Dad, what's that one that's moving like zigzag? And he some of them, he would say, well, those are ours, son. Those are ours. And then there'd be these other ones I would see. It would be like a light moving across the sky. It would stop, and it would blink out and show up like 5 degrees over, like if you held your hand up like 5 or 6 inches over. I'm like, what was that, Dad? And he goes, that belongs to those. I said, what was that? He goes, well, that's not ours. That's theirs. And I said, you know, what do you mean by that's theirs? He would say what that meant. But
Oh, man, I guess we lost Dave. Oh, man. Oh, what a drag. Okay, that dropped. Okay. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hey, this is Chris from Indy, bro. What's up?
This is who in Indy?
Chris from Indy.
Hey, Chris from Indy. How are you?
Doing good, man. How about you?
Happy New Year. What's on your mind tonight, Chris?
Oh, hey. Well, I just watched a. I can't remember what it was. It was one of these UFO documentaries that Corey Good put out, and they were talking about how basically the U.S. put like submarines or like attack class submarines out in space with alien technology. Now, let's go back to Oumuamua. They look very, very similar.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
you mean shaped, cigar shaped, long, tubular.
Very much so.
Yes.
Yeah, it was just like an epiphany. It's like, wait a minute. Well, I just want to check in with you to see what's up, man. It's been a second.
Yeah, there you go. I agree with you. That was a pretty interesting part of that documentary, Chris. And
Yeah.
If you look at it in those terms, which I did, if you look at it in those terms, a submarine is self-contained. Just like a spaceship would need to be.
Oh, absolutely.
And the crew would need to be acclimated to staying inside with each other, right? And not being able to venture outside of the craft. And so the training would be very similar for the two different crews. Yeah. And so I thought that part of it was pretty good. This is the testimony that came directly from William Tompkins. And I feel pretty good about it. I do. And that it's a viable idea. And I thought it was a pretty interesting part of the documentary. So you're absolutely right. How cold is it in Indy?
Actually, give me 2 seconds. I can tell you.
No, it's okay.
It is 33 degrees.
33 degrees. Any snow outside?
33 degrees. One quick thing. I forgot to tell you last time I was on. Central State Mental Asylum, they tore everything down and made apartments out of it.
Where was that at?
That was like off of Warman Street over downtown Indianapolis.
Right.
West side.
I do remember that. Yeah, I remember that growing up.
It's super haunted. I wonder how those apartments are being handled.
Yeah, right. So those are gone?
Oh, yeah. No, all the buildings are gone. The medical museum, I believe, is still there, but everything else is gone, torn down, now apartments.
I've got to get back to Indy as soon as I can. I mean, there's just no question about it. I've got to get back to Indy. And
Heck, man, I'd love to meet up with you when you do, bro.
Man, I just miss it so much. So, yeah,
right.
I've got to get back to Indy. But, Chris, behave. Yeah, my family's out there. My brother's out there. And I've got to get out there as soon as I can. I've got 2 brothers and my parents and all of my friends that are there. So I've got to get out there and spend a weekend and jet back. So I'll do it soon. All right, and we'll hang out.
Let me know. Hit me up on Twitter. We'll go out for coffee or something, man.
Absolutely. Okay.
All right, man. Take it easy, brother.
Enjoy the rest of your night, and that is Chris from Indy. Let's go to, let's see, who's up next? Area code 630. Where's 630? You're up.
Outside of Chicago.
Outside of Chicago. All right, so what's your name?
Thomas.
Thomas, how you doing, man?
Good. First-time caller. I wanted to ask what was going on with Emery Smith. Haven't really heard anything from him in a while.
Yeah, I haven't talked.
I was wondering.
Yeah, I haven't talked.
There's a rift between him and Corey Good, and
well, that would be a question for Emery. I haven't talked to Emery in, I don't know, maybe 6 weeks, probably. So I haven't talked to him. I have not talked to him. But yeah, I don't know. That's a question.
Can you have
for
him
Emery.
on soon?
I could have him on soon.
Possibility.
Well, it's always about with any guest that we have on, any guest, it's about what do we got that's new, what do we got that's fresh, what can we bring to the table? Because I don't want to. I like to spend 2.5 hours with a guest, and so it doesn't make any sense to bring somebody on for 15 minutes to get an update, right? It's just not what I do. Others out there probably have shows like that, but for me, I like to sit down for 2.5 hours and just have a great conversation where I'm learning stuff.
Yeah, I'm just asking about it because that last show you had him on was pretty crazy.
Yeah,
with all the phone stuff going on.
Yeah. Emery's amazing, and his knowledge and his life's experiences are just wow. So. You know what? I'll reach out to Emery over the weekend, and if we can put a full 2.5 hour show together, we'll have Emery back. Love Emery. Emery's great.
All right. I appreciate it. I don't want to take up too much time. I know there's other people trying to get through.
Absolutely. And enjoy the rest of your night and weekend up there in Naptown. Hey, okay, really quick. I can't let you go without this question. What's better, Giordano's or Illuminati's?
I'm not a fan of Chicago-style pizza. I'm from California originally.
I'm hanging up on you.
I would say Giordano's.
Oh, you're going Giordano's. I'm with you.
But I like New York style better.
You like Rita.
I like the thin crust.
See, I like that thick. I just like the Chicago style, 3 inches. That pan and oh man, Gino's is pretty good dough too. If you like thin crust
and 100 grams of carbs to go with, with all that
per bite. All right, man. Enjoy the rest of your night. All right, have a great night. Giordano's. Oh man, see, I told you it's going to be like this all night tonight. I cannot get this mess figured out. And there you go. Okay, so now let's try it. It's going to be like this all night. Area code 718. You're up next. You're live. 718. Are you there? Okay, so that's going to kill. Oh, man, please do not do this to me tonight. I got to learn how to run this system. I have no idea. But it's only going to be like this for one night. Okay? One night. Which is, let's try this. This is going to be crazy. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hey, Jimmy, how's it going? This is Joe Thomas calling out of Portland, Oregon. How you doing tonight, brother?
I'm doing good, Joe Thomas out of Portland, Oregon. Are you a DJ?
You know, it's funny. That's interesting that you asked me that, man. I tell you, I DJ'd probably from the 1980s all the way up to like early 2000s. And I love music. I love everything from Black Sabbath to Too Short, Iron Maiden to Kim Carnes, from Prince to Sheila. I mean, I love everything, man. And my record collection reflects that.
Wow. So did you you just said Black Sabbath and Kim Carnes in the same sentence? I got to respect that. Brother. I got to respect that. I got to respect that. I got to respect that.
Actually, I said Black Sabbath and Too Short, so it even gets wilder. You know what I'm saying?
Too Short. I know. That's classic, man. So what's on your mind tonight?
First of all, brother, I want to thank you, man, for everything you're doing on Fade to Black. Is fantastic. I've been listening to you for probably close to a couple of years now, man, and all of your episodes with David Wilcock have been just amazing. I've learned so much. It's helped me personally grow. David Wilcock's a great guy. I mean, I think he's probably one of the most credible people right now that is, coming out with everything from energy work to, everything going on with UFOs and all that. But what's on my mind tonight, not to take up too much time, is I live in Portland and we've got the King Tut exhibit out at OMSI. OMSI is like I forget what it's an acronym for, but you can Google it, OMSI, OMSI. And I've been studying ancient Egyptology for I'm 44.
Okay.
I'll be 45 in February. And I've been studying ancient Egyptology for half my life, Jimmy, and I finally got a chance to go see the King Tut exhibit. And I'm telling you right now, man, there is no doubt in my mind that sarcophagus, when Lord Carter found it, was floating like an anti-gravity, just like what David's talking about, this anti-gravity building on the moon.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, that sarcophagus was floating like that when he quote unquote found the tomb. Because every time you hear a quote or read a quote from Lord Carter, the guy that found it, he always says, as soon as my eyes got adjusted to the lights, I saw wondrous things. And as a kid, when I read that, it was like, wait a minute. He went in there with a lantern. I mean, they barely had electricity in 1922. My grandmother was born in 1922. I mean, they had, the electricity wasn't constant, like it is now.
You know what's funny?
Like, why would you?
I know, and you know what? I'm gonna put you on hold because I got to take a break, and I want you to finish this thought. But did you know? I read. I presented this last week, or maybe it was 2 weeks ago. That after they made the discovery in 1922, they didn't find the sarcophagus in that little room for a year. A year.
Right.
Now, how is somebody explain that to me? All right, you stay right there. I got to take a break.
I'll explain it. You got it. Right here, brother.
I got to take a break, and this is Fade to Black's Thursday night. It's Fadernight. I got to wrestle through these phones, but we'll pull it off. Don't you worry. Open lines all night long. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. This is Fade to Black on the Game Changer Network and KGRA, The Planet. I'll be right back. Stay with me.
This is Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, the Global Radio Alliance.
This is KGRA Digital Broadcasting Station, Salt Lake City, Utah, Van Buren, Arkansas.
Come join us for the 2019 Conscious Life Expo in Los Angeles at the LAX Hilton. This year, we are celebrating the 50th anniversary of Chariots of the Gods with Eric Von Daniken, and I'll be hosting the panel with Eric, Linda Moulton Howe, Jason Martell, Billy Carson, and join George Norrie, Nassim Haramain, Robert Schock, Daniel Brinkley, Grant Cameron, Julia Mossbridge, and another 50 speakers who will be presenting at the 2019 Conscious Life Expo. Just go to ConsciousLifeExpo.com for tickets and a full conference schedule, or click on the CLE banner at JimmyChurchRadio.com. Go back, Lee Tappy.
Folks, this is very important information. What's to be said about CBD? AncientLifeOil.com. Our CBD is made from hemp and has 0.003 THC, which means this wonderful product won't get you high, no matter what amount you take. What does CBD do for the body? My hands are tied, but you can Google CBD benefits and be astounded. When you're finished reading, you'll want to log on to AncientLifeOil.com. That's AncientLifeOil.com. and purchase. Life is good when you feel good. People are tired of pain. People are asking for non-GMO organic products to help them with you fill in the blank. Legal in 49 states, and again, our CBD is made from hemp. Ancient Life Oil is about helping people one by one by one. If you wonder how good the product is, the CEO takes it every day without miss. AncientLifeOil.com. That's AncientLifeOil.com. Have a great day.
Hello, I'm Katie, and you're listening to my main man, Jimmy Church, on JimmyChurchRadio.com.
Hi, this is Ray Hobbs here, repping the planet, and you're listening to my good friend, Jimmy Church, Fade to Black, on the Game Changer Network and the KGRA Digital Broadcast Station.
This is Toby Kebbell. You're listening to JimmyChurchRadio.com. Don't hurt me, Jimmy. I'm only little.
Hey, I'm Adrian Grenier.
And this is Ari Gold.
We're the Honey Brothers.
Yes.
We're of the Honey Brothers. Hey, I'm Adrian Grenier.
And I'm Ari Gold.
We're the Honey Brothers.
And you're listening to Jimmy Church.
The Revolution.
Reclaim your active lifestyle with Angioprim. Angioprim is the original liquid oral chelation supplement. Chelation helps remove toxins, heavy metals, and cholesterol in your veins and arteries that can cause blockages. Scientific research proves the active ingredient in Angioprim has superior oral chelation action that helps promote cardiovascular health. Find out more. Go to angioprim.com. Talk to a trained consultant by calling Angioprim toll-free 877-882-7221.
This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and you can become an official Fadernaut by just going to our membership section at JimmyChurchRadio.com.
Hey, it's Grace. Can we talk about something serious for a minute? Your age. Getting old has its perks. But remember, being a few years younger You know, your hair was thicker, you didn't have so many wrinkles, that extra weight wasn't haunting you, and you just felt better. Well, we can't turn back the clocks and go back 10 or 15 years, but you can start feeling and looking 10 or 15 years younger with Nature's Youth RSF. It's a doctor-formulated daily supplement that helps your body maintain its peak performance and fight the aging process. Imagine sleeping better, looking better, and feeling better. See how Nature's Youth RSF has helped thousands of people just like you at nature'syouth.com. nature'syouth.com. Imagine how it will feel when your family and friends are asking you what you did to look so good. Your secret will be Nature's Youth RSF. It's time to start looking better and feeling better. Learn more and order your Nature's Youth RSF at nature'syouth.com. That's nature'syouth.com. That's nature'syouth.com.
Hello, this is Serena Wright Taylor from Conscious Life Expo, and you're listening to Fade to Black with Jimmy Church, who holds the Lucky Pony record for the best astrological chart since 1963. True story.
This is Micah Hanks of the Gralien Report, and you're listening to Jimmy Church on Fade to Black, across the globe on the Game Changer Radio Network and the one and only KGRA Radio, The Planet.
All right, welcome back. Fade to Black. I am your host, Jimmy Church. Thursday night, Fadernight. Open lines all night long. Now, the call-in numbers, 323-825-5045 or 323-275-9695 or 818-921-6929. Now, right before the break, we were talking up to Oregon. It was David, right?
No, it's Joe Thomas.
Oh, Joe. Hey, listen, man, you got a lot of wind. You got a lot of wind in the background, man. Roll up the window.
Okay, brother. Hold on just a second.
Whatever's going. It's loud. Okay. Now, OMSI is the Oregon Museum of Science and Industry. So that's what
you
OMSI
got it,
is.
brother.
Okay.
That's it.
So now the King Tut exhibit was just down here in Los Angeles. So I guess it's going up the West Coast, and it's up there with you right now in Portland. And we were talking about the sarcophagus, right? Now they have King Tut's sarcophagus up there.
Yeah. Now, how am I sounding right now? Is it still loud?
It's better.
It's a lot better. Okay, cool. I tell you, yeah. So what they said is that they got King Tut's. It's the replica. They're saying it's the replica of what they found in Tut's when they found the tomb.
Right.
And I mean, I tell you, Jimmy, I've been studying this stuff for half my life. I've got Egyptian, and of course, the real name of Egypt. That isn't the true name. The actual true name is Kemet, right? Mm-hmm. Napoleon went through that area and renamed everything, but that's another story, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when I went down and looked at the exhibit and I saw the big box, the big sarcophagus, because there are 3 more sarcophagus inside of it, kind of like the Baruchka dolls, which it makes me kind of think maybe that's where Russia, the Russian culture got the idea from. You know, those Baruchka dolls where you take one out and there's another one inside, and you take another one out and there's another one inside. It also made me think about the game Operation. So, and I'll get more to the point, but basically, when I looked at that sarcophagus, it's sitting on a metal. The only thing I can describe it as like a pallet jack, but it doesn't have wheels on it. It is, I believe, probably a replica of the metallic table that it was sitting on, and it's got these kind of 4 different like round legs on it, right? Well, when the back of the sarcophagus, Jimmy, is straight from the feet of the sarcophagus all the way to the back. It's all straight, but this table it sits on has a distinctive bow in it. And I'm looking at it. I says, look, everything is seamless. All of the craftsman work is wonderful. Why would this giant box, why would there be like a 5 or 6 inch gap between the heels of the big box and this table it's sitting on? And then it hit me like a lightning bolt. I said, oh my God, because that thing was floating up off the table like an anti-gravity train in Japan. You know what I'm saying? And when you look, Google Shin, S-H-E-N, that is the hieroglyphic symbol. It's a hieroglyphic symbol, and it's identical to a capacitor. It's a capacitor. When you look at the Shin, and then you look at the actual sarcophagus box, there's Shin all across the top of it and on back of it. Those things are capacitors. And then you look at all the crystals and all of that work right down the front of the box, and it's no doubt in my mind, man, I really think that thing was powered on. You also look up DJED, D-J-E-D. That's the Egyptian hieroglyph for stability, right? The DJED pillar, that's identical to a lightsaber. And when you rearrange the words DJED, you get Jedi, Jimmy.
That's funny. Well, I'm looking here at his sarcophagus, and I see what you're talking about, including the table. Yeah, that's pretty bizarre.
You see that
looking.
Gap?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, right at the heath. Yeah, brother, I'm telling you, man. And I think that thing, and now the DJED pillar, that's a schematic for your Duracell battery. Any battery on planet Earth has the exact same schematic, where you have, well, at that time it would be papyrus paper in between, say, lead and copper metal. Right?
Yeah.
And if you look at a cutaway of a Duracell battery, it's the exact same thing. So there's DJED pillars that they show inside of the rooms that they found, the sarcophagus and all that. And I think that this thing was powered up. I think that for 2,500 years it was collecting direct sunlight. The hieroglyphs were collecting, or rather, the outside of the box was gilded. The room that it was in, it was collecting sunlight. It was storing sunlight in these DJED pillars. And then when it finally got covered over with sand, it stayed powered up until they found it. Now, here's the kicker, okay? Now, you think that's trippy? Have you ever read that the sarcophagus that held Tutankhamun's remains, the eyes had gotten destroyed, or as they say in the exhibit, that they had been deteriorated because some kind of resin had gotten poured over them? Have you ever read or heard that?
Yes, I have.
Okay, I had never heard that, but seeing it, I'm gonna tell you something, man. How in the heck can this craftsmanship of this stuff, some resin gets poured on the eyes and the eyes deteriorate? Nah, Jimmy, those eyes were high-tech circuitry. And when I looked at what they call the replica exhibit, when I look at the face of it, it looks like blowtorch burns on the eyes. I think that the eyes on the sarcophagus that held his body was high-tech circuitry. They had to cut those things out because they didn't want to release to the public that these Africanoid people had created all this stuff. I think that thing was powered on, and that might have been the only way they could have turned it off. You understand what I'm saying?
I do.
And I even wonder if his body was not to interrupt you, my brother. I even wonder if his body was decomposed fully. I wonder, man, because when you look at their pictures, I can email them to you, of the jewelry that they found on his body when they took off the lid. And each picture that Carnarvon drew shows this jewelry sitting on very distinctive chakra points on his body. The Horus jewelry that they took off all over his lung area. The scarab beetles are like in the center of his chest. You dig what I'm saying? And then the DJED pillars were necklaces up around his neck, which would be the lymphatic system.
I have. I'm holding it up to the cameras in the studio here. I have a King Tut sarcophagus. I've got a model of it, and it's pretty cool. It opens up, and I'm showing it to everybody. It's heavy. I got to put it down. But looking at the pictures of it here and listening to you describe it, and then I went, wait a minute, I've got it right here. So I just turned around and grabbed it in the studio. I forgot that I had one. But yeah, I see what you're talking about there, and the thing is the size of this thing. It's not small. It's tall. It's big. It's round. It's long. And I don't know how much stuff was in that tomb, But Howard Carter, a year later, went, hey, check this out. It's like, wait, how does that work? Oh, man. Well, listen, Joe, enjoy the rest of your night. Enjoy the rest of your night.
You too, homeboy. Hey, one last quick thing.
Sure.
Makes me wonder if this Wamo cigar-shaped craft really isn't a giant sarcophagus. How come we haven't got an exact picture of it? They got Hubble, bro. You dig what I'm saying? I love you, Jimmy. You take it easy, bro.
You too, Joe. Thank you so much. And I don't know what is up with Oumuamua. There is something going on there for sure. I don't know. But to have it enter our solar system and take a turn, speed up and leave, and we just didn't really study it. We didn't really ask any questions. I found that to be absolutely bizarre. It was here, and we didn't get anything real solid as far as imaging goes and information, and it's gone. All right, area code 718. You are up next on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hey, Jimmy, Bob Crivy, how are you?
Hi, how are you? That's the question.
I'm doing great, Jim. Things are starting to really get moving for me, and I just want. Did you see Orville, the new latest Orville show?
Oh, absolutely.
My God, it's a second Star Trek.
Yeah, no, it's so good, so funny too as well.
It's better than I mean, it is. I mean, you could say it puts Commander Cody in it and be the Star Trek.
Yeah,
right?
I'm okay with it. I thought that originally, and it's obvious what is going on here, where it's a little ode to Star Trek, it's a little nod to Star Trek, and I'm totally okay with it. I think it's very funny, it's very fresh, and it's on tonight. So as soon as
tonight?
Yeah. As soon as we're done with Fade to Black, I'll go pick up some food.
Oh, you're gonna love it. It was great.
And go. Don't tell me. I don't want to know.
I'm not telling you nothing.
So what did you think about what's her name leaving the show last week?
Oh, with that, are you talking about Heather?
Tara. Remember she?
Heather Wade?
No, in Orville.
Oh,
the head of security.
Oh, I thought you were about. That was
the head of security.
She was great. She was a superhuman. I was that.
And she was a major part of the show. I was heartbroken. I didn't want to see that happen.
Yeah, I was too. They work in funny ways. Just turn around strange, I mean.
You think
really,
they're gonna
really cool though, man?
You think they're gonna bring?
Did you ever see? I'm sorry.
Do you think they are going to bring her back?
I think so. Yeah, I think so. Unless she decided to leave the show, and then I'll probably have somebody else like her come on or something.
She was great,
right?
Yeah. Well,
she was great. I loved it.
I liked her character, and Alara. That was her name, Alara.
Yeah. Yeah,
Alara, and she's now off the show. That was crazy. That was crazy.
It is kind of crazy.
All right, Bob, what's on your mind?
Did you ever see the early UFO, Project UFO?
Project UFO.
You never heard of it, right?
Are you talking about 1970, 1969, 68?
Yeah.
Yes.
And so help me, Jimmy. There was a show on there that had about this giant. The kids saw this giant with one eye.
Yes, I remember that.
Yeah, and they said they saw the same thing in Russia.
Really?
People who landed in Russia.
My favorite show, if you go back to the 60s, now look, everybody is going to bring up Space 1999, and they're going to bring up UFO or Lost in Space. But I liked, I just brain freezed. Man, I can see the, let's see, hold on for a second. I can see the intro to the show. Let's see, hold on for a second. We'll have it right now. You gotta love Google, man. You got was it the Avenger? Not.
Oh, cool. Yeah, you get anything you want, man. Yeah.
Let's see. I can't. I don't have it. I don't have it. It was at the tip of my tongue, and I watched them all too. Okay, it doesn't matter.
Science fiction show?
Yeah. It was called
The
Avenger. Wasn't the Avengers the? Oh man, and the flying saucer.
Oh, the Avengers. That was Patrick's. Yeah.
No.
That was the different Avengers. Yeah.
Oh man, I'm gonna find it during the break. All right, that's it.
Talk about Outer Limits.
It'll come to me. Somebody's probably got it up here in Twitter. Not Land of the Lost. Not Battlestar Galactica.
Oh yeah, Battlestar Galactica, the original one.
Okay.
There was two of them.
All right. Hey Bob, what's on your mind tonight? What else is going on?
Okay, Jimmy. My album is getting some sales again. I really can't believe it. I mean, people like it, and my music is really getting out there. And I hope to put out a Christmas album this year and another album. But Owen Klein, Kevin Klein's son, is working on a movie now, so we're going to get together again. And I hope to do some shows here in Queens. Now, also, I put in some of my just acapella music on Facebook and YouTube just for the heck of it. So I put this song called Lights Get Out of My Way on it. If you want to check it out, it's on Facebook or YouTube.
All right. Thank you so much. Avalanche Bob, everybody.
It's inspirational, Jimmy.
Thank you so much, my friend, and enjoy the rest of your night, okay?
You too, man. Have a great weekend.
Yeah, you too, Bob.
Take care, Jim.
Avalanche Bob right there on Fade to Black. You got to love it. And the TV show that I was thinking of was The Invaders. The Invaders. I love that show. And it was on for a few seasons, too, as well. The Invaders. Everybody, look at you guys. Babylon 5. Thunderbirds. Oh, man, you guys are funny. No, The Invaders. And you can go, it's all over YouTube and so forth. You can go watch it. Watch it from the beginning. Watch season 1, episode 1, and go all the way through. And check out the design of the craft. And what does that remind you of? All right. You guys can start posting pictures right now of The Invaders, and you tell me. Let's go to area code 412. You are up next on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hello, sir.
Yes.
How are you?
Yes, I'm good. Who's this?
This is Tom from Pittsburgh.
Hi, Tom from Pittsburgh. How are you, man? Everything good?
I'm feeling very good. Hey, I have a lot of questions on my mind tonight. I hope you can answer some of them. First of all, I've been involved in the ufology and Sasquatch. I mean, the whole paranormal scene for quite a while now. I would say close to 10 years. I've been on multiple expeditions. I have been out with Dr. Greer on 3 different occasions. I have seen things that I cannot explain. I've come to a point in my life where I am literally working through the daily grind. I have a normal 9-to-5 job, all right, and I just want to know what the meaning of life is at this point. You know, at this point in my life, like I have seen so much crazy stuff. Like, I mean, I know I am well versed in ancient technology. I am well versed in meditation. I am well versed in Sanskrit. I mean, it goes on and on from that point. But
well, when you ask the meaning of life, and I find that very interesting. It's a great question, Tom. So, but when you ask that question From what frame of reference are you asking it from? Is it what is the meaning of your journey? What you as an individual, or are you talking about us as Earthlings, as a collective? What do you mean the meaning of life? Why are we here? What is it? What's the direction you're coming from?
I understand what you're saying, and at the same time, I will reflect and say, I am trying to understand the meaning of Earthlings, like you said, because I am a person in this world, and my primary focus in this life at this point in my life, because I've been through a lot of very hardships, very, very much hardships, and my primary focus right now, through what I've been through and through what I've seen, and I want to know, how can I help other people? How can I help progress this movement to the next level? How can we push this forward, this movement of the truth and this disclosure? Because there's so much unexplained out there, but like, the term unexplained, it doesn't even really cover what we're talking about, because it's not unexplained. There is, if you delve into it deep enough, there is truth. There's truth behind everything that you delve into. And what I'm trying to say is, I really don't know what I'm trying to say. I apologize, sir.
No, not at all. Okay, so I will do my best to express an answer before the break. How's that, Tom? And it's this.
Yes,
it's this. If there is one thing that would have more importance over anything else, where you would have the most effect on yourself and others around you, the one thing probably that would benefit, and if everybody had this frame of mind, then everything would change on the planet. And it's actually very, very simple, but very important, which is you have to be happy. And if you are happy, others around you will feel that. They're not going to feel negativity coming off of you. So now, wait a minute, Jimmy. This is some kind of new agey feel? No, it's not actually. What you want what you want to be able to do is want to get up in the morning. You just go out there because you are happy. You're looking forward to the day and the next day. Now, how do you do that? You need to figure out, and only you have this answer, and it's a different answer for everybody. There is one thing out there that you would do for a job for free. You would starve to death, but it would make you happy doing that job. Now, whatever it may be, for some people, it may be being a car mechanic. For somebody else, it's a pilot. Somebody else, it's being a cook. Somebody else, it's being a painter or a poet. For me, it's talking on the radio, right? And interacting with you guys. I'm at peace with myself. Therefore, when somebody out there finds that thing where they find their bliss, people are attracted to that. And they look at you and go, I want to be like him. And what's the secret? Well, the secret is I'm doing exactly what makes me happy. You only have a small minute on this planet in this version of your life. A minute.
Exactly.
A minute, and you're done. So in that blink of an eye, don't you want to make sure that you are happy and making others around you feel that vibe? And if everybody on this planet had that same elemental viewpoint, how happy everybody would be, and there you go. And I think that's the secret. That's
exactly.
That's the secret.
Can I retaliate? And can I say that the problem actually comes down to the corruption in the system we're living in. Because there's people, and this not only reflects me, it reflects a lot of people like that I know, and that a lot of people that I've met. And there's somebody always hanging over you in your life, that has some kind of control over whether you're making money, because that's what the society comes down to, is whether or not you're making money or you're not making money. And that's what it takes to survive in this world.
Well, see,
and you have to you have to drop your the way you are just to make that money. And it really is upsetting to me the society we live in now, because I've seen so many amazing things. I know what kind of technology resides in these hidden projects, these USAPs, these unacknowledged special access programs. I'm sure you're very familiar with that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just it blows my mind that these people in control don't have the faith in the basic humanity right now to grant us the access to this and just make this world, because you know what it comes down to is the people in control right now, they're so scared to lose control.
Well, that's exactly, and nobody, once they taste that power, Tom, and I've got to hit a break. Power corrupts, man. Power corrupts. You can have the most honest, unbelievably morally correct person get changed. And I've seen it happen, too, as well. I got to hit a break right here, Tom, but do me a favor. Go find your bliss and spread your happiness, man. And that's not new agey stuff. I think that's exactly what you need to do, and I think the rest of the world should do it. But I do literally got to hit a break right here. This is Fade to Black. Thank you, Tom. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. This is Fade to Black. I am your host, Jimmy Church. It's Fadernight, Thursday night open lines. More of your phone calls are next. Stay with me.
Way out here, we listen to Jimmy Church.
You're listening to Fade to Black.
Always on the edge of the hottest alternative talk. Jimmy Church with Fade to Black. KGRARadio.com.
¿Qué tal, mis amigos? Yo soy Mario Carson, el tiburón, y los invito para que escuchen a mi buen amigo Jimmy Church Radio. ¡Claro que sí!
Hurricanes, earthquakes, wildfires. This year we've experienced more than our fair share. This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black. And last month I decided to make sure my family does not have to worry about food should we get caught in a real emergency situation. Introducing Numana, a healthy, storable product that tastes so good that you'll want to eat it every day instead of just during those times of duress. All Numana products have a 25-year shelf life, are MSG and GMO-free, no preservatives, and are made in America. With the Numana pack in your home, you'll be able to sleep at night knowing that you've protected your family. Not only have I tasted and tested, I own it. Now you can too. Just click on the Numana banner on JimmyChurchRadio.com and use the promo code Jimmy when you order. In addition to a discount, we'll send you an autographed Fade to Black t-shirt. Seriously, go Beckley Tappy. Do you want to be an official Fadernight? Of course you do. This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black. Just go to our membership section at JimmyChurchRadio.com.
So, you love talk radio? Then you'll love TalkStreamLive.com. TalkStream Live is always on, 24/7 with the best streaming talk shows. Find your favorite talkers and discover some new ones. It's free, readily available online or on mobile with any smartphone or tablet. Finding your favorite talk shows all in one place has gotten a whole lot easier. Just go to TalkStreamLive.com. Be sure to download the free apps from Google Play or the iTunes App Store.
You listen to us, and we listen to you. And so does the CIA. KGRARadio.com.
If you have hard water, the lime scale not only leaves white spots, it clogs pipes and breaks down appliances, costing you hundreds of dollars in energy and wear. Eliminate lime scale and other water issues like brown staining and bad odors with HydroCare water products available from Wave Home Solutions. Wave's affordable water systems don't use salts or chemicals. You'll love the way your water tastes, smells, and looks. Satisfaction guaranteed. For more information, go to bestwater123.com. That's bestwater123.com.
Are you intrigued by Paranormal Talk Radio? You'll love the new Paranormal Radio app from TalkStream Live. You'll find a great selection of talk shows covering UFOs, ghosts, strange phenomena, and much more. Download the Paranormal Radio app now and start listening to the very best in paranormal talk entertainment, including the network you're listening to right now, the Paranormal Radio app, free in Google Play and the iOS App Store.
You are listening to Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Network.
Oi, oi, I'm Reese Evans. You're listening to Jimmy Church. This is Revolution. The revolution will not be televised. The revolution is on radio. Ciao.
Welcome back, Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Walking around in the bunker, stretching my legs during the break. And I walked by the Harley Davidson model. I'm like, man, that thing just looks cool. And I'm holding it, and I was like, man, everybody needs to see how cool this thing is. And I just posted it up there in Twitter. Kevin took a picture of it. How cool is that, man? That's pretty bitchin'. That's pretty bitchin'. The stuff that I have around here is such a man cave. Such a man cave. John Wick 3, I bet you, I'm looking at this right now, Cosmic Mike just posted this up in Twitter, and I'm going to say John Wick, especially John Wick 2, I've never seen that many bodies fall dead in 2 or 3 minutes in each scene of the movie. Man, it was relentless. So I can only imagine what's going down in John Wick 3. Harley Davidson Adams turned into a cheeseburger. That's pretty funny. All right, let's go to area code 407. You are up next on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
This is Reverend John Polk.
Hey.
Jimmy, how you doing?
Oh, man, how are you?
I'm good, brother. Anyway, the last time I called you, it was March 29th of last year, and I was calling you from Sedona. And a week earlier, I was trying to call, and you had Devon Smith on the show, and it was going so good that I don't know how many people were even able to call in. But that particular night on the 29th, it was too trippy. I called in, talked for a little bit, and then I got my night vision goggles and was out looking at the sky in Sedona, and I see what appeared to be an airplane. And it gets closer, and it gets closer to me, and then all of a sudden it stops. And it was very interesting because I was working as a medium in the Center for the New Age, which is like the place for all the psychics to work in Sedona.
Okay,
and
so
the girl who had an office right next to me.
But what happened? What was the object?
It looked like a 5-pointed star is what it looked like. And it was enabling me to take pictures and videos of it. And it was so close, I was able to do it with my iPhone. And I actually posted a video of it on YouTube called UFO over West Sedona. And the girl who had an office right next to me in the Center for the New Age, where we worked as psychic mediums, she captured a video of it 3 nights before I saw it. And ironically, it was the last time that I actually called into your show. And so the next thing I know, I'm watching it. It stops. I'm taking pictures. I'm taking videos of it. And then all of a sudden I black out and I wake up in the driveway. I'm still standing up with my night vision goggles and my phone in my hand. And I'm bleeding from my nose. And I'm like, oh my God, what just happened? And I immediately knew that it was the military labs. And I started to talk to people about this. And Melinda Leslie, who has UFOsightingtours.com, where if you don't see a UFO on her tour, you get your money back, she talked to me about the whole thing where she had been abducted multiple times. And then Misha Johnston, who does her own Skywatch tours in Las Vegas, she told me that she got abducted by the MyLabs in Sedona also. Tana Newberry, who goes to a lot of the conferences, she told me she got abducted by the MyLabs in Sedona. And then Kathleen Martin.
So are you saying you've moved from Sedona and Sedona is not the place to be?
I fled from Sedona, basically, and I moved back to Florida. But here's the kicker, Jimmy, is that the MyLabs in Sedona are actually run by actual reptilians. And that came out through a regression. And Kathleen Martin has done extensive research on it. She told me that that the MyLabs are being run by actual reptilians. And so did Misha Johnston, and so did Tana Newberry, and so did Melinda Leslie. And I didn't know that, and I had lived there for like 7 or 8 months before I even realized this. And then I moved, like, I don't know, maybe a mile from where I was staying, and I was right next to a karaoke bar, and I would walk to the karaoke bar because I like to sing, and this UFO was following me around. And this one night I'm walking back to the house where I was staying, and I'm like, you know what? I have a sovereign soul. You can't take me. I've not given you permission to take me, to violate my sovereign soul. You have no power over me. I'm going to go get my night vision goggles, and I'm going to look at you again tonight, and you're not going to do anything about it. And I go get my night vision goggles, and a voice that was not mine tells me, no, you're not. You're not going to get your night vision goggles. You're going to go to bed and go to work the next morning. And that's exactly what I did. And I started to see this UFO all the time, and I just decided I need to get out of here before this happens to me again. And when James Gilliland stayed at my house in September of 2017 during the conference, I got abducted by, I believe, the same group of reptilians then also, and James knew all about it. And Eric at Awakening Man on Twitter was actually staying at the house when that happened.
Well, you've listed a lot of names right here. Sounds to me like you're a marketing rep for everybody. But also, in a weird way, even though listing all of these names from different people with the same experiences, it sounds to me, John, that you're suggesting that Sedona is like the Stepford wives. Right? That these are.
I hear a phone ringing in the background. I can't hear you.
Okay, I said it sounds like the Stepford wives, Sedona. Right? Is that what's going on? Everybody's walking around with reptilian DNA.
Well, this is interesting. Is at Contact in the Desert just this past June, there was a panel discussion, and I was listening to Linda Moulton Howe talk about how the grid lines have completely collapsed in Sedona, which makes it very easy for the darkness to come in and out through those grid lines that aren't there anymore.
Well, you're not doing much.
I know
you're not doing much for the tourism of Sedona right now. I mean, it's freaking me out.
Well, if you go there, and I lived there for 8 months and worked there also, the locals all know. Not all of them, but about half of them know that there is absolutely some kind of military lab presence there. It's not a myth, and it's not a mystery to the locals. And there's a famous mountain there called Thunder Mountain, and I lived right by it. You could see it from the window in my front yard. It's known to be a joint ET/military base. And if you get too close to Bradshaw Ranch, which is right in front of it, you'll see these guys come out with military fatigues on, but no patch on their shoulder. You don't know what agency that they're with.
Did you go up there?
Full tactical gear on and tell you to just leave.
Did you talk to them?
No, I never saw them personally. But the whole thing with the reptilians.
No, not the reptilians. The security guys. Did you talk to them?
No, but I know I was in the area real close. Tom Dongo, I don't know if you remember, but at Contact in the Desert, when we had the Fader get together at the Fader house where I was staying with Eric, Tom Dongo was also there. he was a tour guide there for 23 years. And he took us, right up to the fence where it says, if you cross this line, there's cameras on you, you will go to prison, basically. But we were right there. And some buddies of mine are planning to get an RV and park close to it and do a full-on report on it. So looking forward to that.
Yeah, there you go. Well, John, are you going to be out here anytime soon?
I am. Within the next month, I'll more likely be halfway close to you guys. I just talked to Gigi, and I was with him a few months ago, and lo and behold, he and I saw a UFO clear as day while I was there. And I ended up hanging out with Joe Roop on my way out west before I got to Gigi, and we saw a UFO with him and his 13-year-old son from his driveway. And I'm going to try to put together my own UFO sighting tour somewhere out west in the desert Southwest.
Oh, there you go. Well, keep us posted, man. And we'll see you when you get out here.
All right. Look forward to it.
Thank you, John. Behave and be well out there, man.
All right. I'll see you soon, Jimmy.
Yeah, thank you so much. My lab is a mysterious situation. When it comes to my lab, when it comes to my lab, I believe that there's something going on. That's the first thing. Second thing is, what is the objective? And then the third thing, when I hear about, and this goes back a long ways, man. This isn't some recent phenomenon. But when I hear an experiencer and an abductee talk about going to an underground base and being there around military people as well as ETs, mantis beings, reptilians, whatever, and they're underground, that to me could, I'm not saying it is, but it could describe something that isn't alien at all, right? That it could be some staged event done to mess with somebody, so they turn around and go out in public and talk about it because the experience to them was real, right? Some drugs are involved. You wake up, you're in a room, you're looking around, and you're seeing this, and maybe somebody military in the background. And I've heard this over and over. I've heard it hundreds of times from hundreds of witnesses and not only abductees and contact people, but those that feel that there was some communication from off-planet with us. But then when I hear the military aspect brought into it, and it's an underground facility and they know that they're underground, it doesn't say to me necessarily ET. It seems a little staged, right? Like a Hollywood set. And that to me is more scary and more dangerous than if it was ET. And I really mean that our government could be doing that and getting these memories into people. You don't have to plant the memories into somebody. They're experiencing it. So it's real to them, and they're going to come out and they are going to talk about it because the experiences were real. They weren't fake. They just weren't ET. And that's what scares me. That really, really, really freaks me out. It really does. And when you think about all of the MK Ultra stuff and the things that were going across this country that were being done on innocent civilians, think about that. So don't say it couldn't happen, because it did happen. All right, area code 307. You're up next on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hi, this is Tom from Montana.
Hi, Tom from Montana. How are you?
Good, man. It's my Twitter is Mountain Mindset, and I had those pictures in Katmandu with the holy men.
Oh, that was you.
Yeah.
Oh, those were remarkable, my man. I'm serious. Those are some of my favorite. And we've got a huge Fadernight collection of photographs that we're going to get up on the new website, right? We're going to have with pictures from all of you that have been sent in over the years.
Oh,
and
nice.
Your stuff from Katmandu. Okay, tell me, Tom, you don't mind, can we talk about those for a second? And then we'll flip it back over to you, okay?
Okay.
But you sent in a picture. Somebody's going to post it up in Twitter. They'll find it. You sent in a picture of you and some shaman-like guy. And that is one of the craziest pictures I've ever seen. Did you get a chance to hang out with him? Tell us about that picture. Who was he?
So actually that was at like a Hindu temple in Katmandu. It was the craziest thing. It was like a public cremation area. So everybody, even the president, politicians go to be cremated in public. And so we're like across the river and from where they're actually cremating people. And there's holy men, like Hindu holy men there. And they just kind of, instead of panhandling, they just get pictures with tourists kind of thing. We didn't get to spend a lot of time with them, but it was really neat. I mean, you could feel their energy.
Oh, sure. He had vibe dripping off of him. Oh man!
Right.
And of course, you're wearing your Fade to Black gear. And I got to tell you, man, they're some of the most precious, coolest pictures that have ever been sent to us. And you were doing it all over the place. How long was that trip?
3 weeks. Yep, and actually pulled a Billy Carson and got engaged at 16,000 feet. So.
That's what I'm talking about. So, okay, Tom, tell me the truth. Like you wouldn't tell me the truth, but tell me the truth. Life-changing? Was that a life-changing trip? Did you come back a different person?
Oh, man, I feel like, you always hear about the ley lines on the earth, and Nepal is like the crown chakra of the planet.
No doubt.
That's for real, man. Like, you can feel it. It's, especially being up in the mountains with all the Sherpas and in the tiny tea houses, it's incredible. You got to put on your list to go over there.
Oh, no doubt. And how cool would it have been? You're up there in your Fade to Black shirt, right? And you're walking around, and another, Fadernight walks by. Did that happen? Did you meet anybody else?
No, I was hoping so bad though.
It happens a lot, and you're up there, and I was just picturing myself. Okay, these images are coming in from you. The next one is going to be you and somebody else, right? and right. You never know. But those were amazing pictures, and not only thank you for doing that. Okay, everybody's asking you to post it again. So after we get off, jump on Twitter and post it.
Okay.
All right. So what's on your mind tonight, Tom?
Well, I got a story from high school for you about Egypt. Actually, I never went there, but I kind of did.
Okay.
So I was it was like high school, maybe my sophomore year, and after school, kind of taking a nap, but like in between dream and awake state, and like kind of started to get like sleep paralysis, and this has happened to me a little bit here and there, and kind of then I like heard a really strong wind. And actually there was a lady in the movie, David Wilcock's new movie, Above Majestic. She started talking about how like your body's vibrating to the point where it's just going to pull apart.
Right.
I was like, oh, that's it. That's what happened. Like I had that feeling like this wind was so intense on my face, and like I had that vibration, and like I just felt like my body was going to rip apart, and like I felt like all my skin was coming off, like all the way down to the bone, and then I disappeared, and I woke up in like this crazy sandstorm, right? And it's just like I'm just kind of fumbling through this crazy sandstorm, and it kind of clears up, and there's like these tall, giant beings that are like kind of like Anubis, like dog heads, right? And they had axes as well, and they were like crossing it like I couldn't pass. And I was walking a little bit closer and closer. And when I got to them, they like uncrossed their axes, and then this like door in the sand opened, and like the sand just started like rolling down like you'd expect like a doorway or like a staircase, just sand going down into the ground. And it's just like I walked down in the chamber, and like I woke up, darn it. I don't know what happened, but that was the craziest thing.
Wait, there's some symbolism going on here. What do you think? What do you think ultimately was happening?
Oh man, I don't know. I was like kind of at that time I actually had a near-death experience kind of in high school, and I went from like crazy drugs to like a full monk doing yoga and tai chi and diving into Buddhist texts every day and after school, and it was right around that time. So I don't know, maybe it was some sort of awakening for sure for me.
Wow, that's absolutely incredible. And it sounds like you remembered all of it, right? Was it that vivid?
Yeah, it was so vivid. Like, I'm convinced it was real. I mean, it had to have been real. And like, that people talk about like natural DMT experiences, like that's definitely what it felt like.
I just posted the picture up, by the way, of you and your friend. What was his name? Do you remember?
Oh, he didn't have a name. We didn't get a name from him.
That dude has got some character. And
right?
his forehead, it's painted in gold and red, right? Wow.
Yeah.
What an outfit. And what's the, is that a rain stick? What is that against the wall?
Oh, let's see. I got to pull up Twitter here.
Oh, don't worry about it.
Okay.
But that is, I remember I just got this picture. I looked at that forever, man. He just looked like he is real cool.
Yeah.
Real cool.
Yeah. So, oh man. So, after that, I have to go to Egypt, right? I have to go.
Yeah, of course you do.
Right.
Of course you do.
Yeah. Like Jason Quinn always talks about, like, I seriously want to go just close my eyes in the pyramid and see what happens, right?
Yeah, and you sent me another one I'm looking for. Where was the, you sent me like 3 or 4, but I labeled them by city. There's Katmandu, and what were the other ones?
The other one was Kinjin-ri, which was like a summit in Nepal that we climbed. It was just a hike, and it's up at 16,000 feet, and just the craziest view. Just surrounded by, we're at 16,000 feet on a hill, and all the mountains around us are, 26,000 feet.
Right.
Crazy.
Yeah, I'm looking through. I've got so many pictures here, and I know I've got this other one with you here. You know what, everybody, don't freak out. I'll post it up during the break. I'll find it. But this is an incredible picture, man. Incredible picture. So what do you think, when you go to Nepal and you're part of this community of awakening and enlightenment, and I know sometimes we think we can, appear to be a little bit backwards compared to the rest of the world, but what do you think their take is on like disclosure, right? Are they with us on, or do they not even pay attention?
Well, so I was actually had a tour guide going through all like the royal palace and all the old Hindu temples, because there's old structures there, like 2,000 years old in Katmandu still. And I asked my tour guide, like, well, what, he was like a strict Hindu as well, and it's just like, what's the Bhagavad Gita say about the Brahmanas and the flying machines? And
right.
He kind of took, and the English was hard to get through, but he's like, oh, the planes, yeah. And then he went into this whole like story of how Shiva created these this army to fight like these blue demons, and he went through this whole like this crazy story about this giant war in India, and it's just like, how can that not be aliens, right? I mean, it's so symbolizing, like flying machines. Yeah, it was just crazy to hear from, you always hear about that story, but I heard it from him,
Yeah, I did the same thing, and I do this whenever I hang out with anybody from outside of the United States. And the more remote, the better. But, somebody from Egypt or somebody from Russia or somebody from the mountains of Russia or Armenia or Australia or China, right? I will sit and ask these questions that I think are relevant, like, who really built the pyramids? What are UFOs to you? Have you seen anything strange? And the responses that I get from everybody are 100% the same. Nobody ever says, no, we're alone. Well, it's only us. UFOs aren't real.
Right.
They go off on a tangent, and it's really the truth. And you go out there and you find out, everybody thinks that the UFO phenomenon or ancient history or concerns about Egypt are a United States phenomenon, that we own it. And clearly we do not. And that's really the truth. And you go out there and start asking people, go to Nepal and start asking questions. They're going to understand exactly what you're talking about. And you're certainly not going to get laughed at.
Yeah, the interesting thing was I asked a lot of people about the Yeti, and it seemed like it's just kind of accepted in Nepal, but it's very different. It's more of like it's a spiritual, multi-dimensional thing that's in the mountains. It's not an animal by any means. It's some sort of spiritual.
What they've been talking about the Yeti there for 2,000 years, right?
Right.
This isn't chasing Bigfoot on the History Channel, right? This is something that has been part of their culture going back thousands of years, and that's the end of the story. You're not going to sit there and try to convince them that it's their imagination. It's just not going to happen, and that's what I enjoy the most. Tom, thank you so much for the pictures, man, and call in anytime and post the rest of them. Okay, get them up on Twitter right now. Okay.
Okay.
Tom, enjoy the rest of your night, man. Thank you so much.
All right. Bye.
Bye. That's a great phone call right there. And I've got to take a break, so let's do that. Man, the show just blew by. 2 segments left. That's it. Tom's incredible. This picture of him in Katmandu, if you want to check it out, follow me on Twitter at JChurchRadio. Check it out. Hashtag F2B. It's right there. I'll be right back. Stay with me.
Hi, everybody. This is Rob Halford, the Metal God, on JimmyChurchRadio.com.
This is KGRA Digital Broadcasting Station. Salt Lake City, Utah. Van Buren, Arkansas.
Poor water quality is a major health issue, and it's only getting worse. Municipalities can't keep up, standards have dropped, and pollutants are increasing. Where does it all end? It ends by keeping the pollutants outside of your home with HydroCare's advanced systems available at Wave Home Solutions. No less than the best purification materials and processes have been developed by HydroCare to provide you with healthy, clean water for drinking, cooking, and showering. HydroCare far surpasses the competition in removing chlorine, odors, iron, lead, chemicals, limescale, and much more. Don't settle for less when it comes to your water. We'll take care of the toughest water problems for you, whether it's from a city or well source. Satisfaction guaranteed. For more information, call 888-997-WAVE. That's 888-997-WAVE. Or go to bestwater123.com. That's bestwater123.com.
Wave Home Solutions for a healthy, comfortable home.
Your contact for current news and trending topics. KGRARadio.com.
Does your basement or crawl space have a damp, musty smell? Well, watch out. That's a sign of too much moisture and not enough ventilation. And that can mean increased mold growth and the buildup of harmful toxins and gases. Don't bother with a dehumidifier. It just circulates the same unhealthy air. Now there's a better way to remove these dangers and odors. It's with the computerized Wave Moisture Control Unit that reduces moisture and expels pollutants.
We replaced our old dehumidifier with the Wave unit, and in only 3 weeks, our basement is dry and the musty smell is gone.
Wave units require no maintenance, no buckets of water or filters, and costs only pennies a day to run. Breathe better, live healthier with an affordable, no-maintenance Wave unit. Call 888-717-WAVE, 888-717-WAVE, or visit dryhealthyhome.com, dryhealthyhome.com.
Ride the wave. Wave Home Solutions for a healthy, comfortable home.
This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and I only drink Fade to Black blend coffee from River Moon. Just click on the River Moon coffee banner at jimmychurchradio.com. Promo code F2B Blend.
So are you tired of being tired? Well, then it's time to get the tea. Hey, it's Lisa here to tell you about this all-natural, all-organic tea I've been drinking that has had great results for over 20 years. It's called Life Change Tea, and it's specially formulated to help detoxify and cleanse your kidneys, liver, colon, and blood all at once. The colon is one of the most ignored organs in the human body. The faster that waste is eliminated from the body, the less time that waste sits in our intestines, spreading toxins to our bloodstream. This tea helps cleanse chemicals caused by outside intruders from our entire digestive system. And get this, weight loss can be a side effect. And with continued use of the tea, you can experience clearer, healthier, younger looking skin, increased energy, and a happier outlook on life. So if you're tired of being tired, get the Life Change Tea at getthetea.com. That's getthetea.com. And like me, you'll be glad you did.
Did you know that when you're on the road with limited data or Wi-Fi available, you can still listen to every minute of Fade to Black by just calling 605-562-4482. No smartphone, app, or internet needed. It saves your data plan and no extra cost if you have unlimited minutes. Just call 605-562-4482. You can listen to me, Jimmy Church, on any phone, anytime, anywhere. Go Beckley Tappy.
You want to know a secret? I love ponies. I really love ponies. I'm serious. I couldn't stay sane without ponies to brush.
Why Fade to Black? Because you never got that pony, damn it.
This is Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, the Global Radio Alliance.
Welcome back, Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Thursday night, Fadernight. Open lines all night long. That's right, 323-825-5045 or 323-275-9695 or 818-921-6929. And it could be, in a weird way, it could be our last night with those phone numbers. If I don't get the new stuff imported over, the porting and stuff, it's easy enough to go with 3 brand new numbers, but we've been using these numbers for years, right? And it's just difficult. It could be that tomorrow night, at the end of the day, tomorrow, everything is going to be just fine. But wouldn't that be strange? And then we got to we got to change all the promos. And but you never know. All right, but it's just strange. I'm reading these off, and I'm just thinking to myself, what the struggle that we went through just to make tonight happen. And if it just doesn't go down, these numbers may vaporize. Somebody else will get these phone numbers, right, in 6 months. 3 months and start getting these strange phone calls. Hey, man, am I on the air? What? I saw a UFO last night. What? What are you talking about? Anyway, I'll get to the phone calls here in just a second. And I don't know what's gotten into me tonight. I'm just grabbing stuff from around the studio. But Kevin just posted this. This is a bottle of Martian poop soda. How cool is that? My daughter, Deanna, our daughter, I should say, got me these in Vegas and or on the way to Vegas years ago too, and I can't open them. I wonder what it tastes like. I wonder what Martian poop soda actually tastes like. But something like this, do you drink it or do you just save it? Right? Do you save it? All right. So that's. That to me is just going to sit here. All right. Let's, can you give us a link so we can listen? I'm not sure what you are. Oh, that's to somebody else. I got you. Okay, here you go. Thank you, Tom. Look at that shot. Man, that's going to get a retweet every single time. That's what I'm talking about. Nepal, man. Absolutely beautiful. So, okay, there you go. Thank you, Tom. Keep them coming. Keep them coming. Let's go to area code 865. You are up next on Faded Black. Who's calling?
Travis.
Hi, Travis.
This is my first time ever calling anybody. I'm kind of nervous.
Well, take a deep breath, Travis. It's all right, man. It's all right. How you doing? Where are you calling from?
Tennessee.
Tennessee. What's on your mind tonight, Travis?
I was wanting to tell about my UFO experience.
Okay. What happened?
Well, it's happened all my life. No, I don't know if all my life, but it's happened since I was younger. And so my whole family has seen UFOs. I've been telling about this on YouTube comments for a while. And with the algorithm and the certain words you say or certain things you do on YouTube, that you say certain things, it doesn't show up. And I always want to go on, say something on radio or something, so more people can hear what I've heard or what I've seen.
Right.
And I have dyslexia and reading problems, so spelling and spelling stuff on YouTube and stuff like that's hard. So more talking about it's better than spelling it out.
Sure.
Well, I don't know where to begin. I'll start off like my recent UFO encounter. I was driving home. Well, before that, 2 days before, I was questioning myself, like, why I haven't seen UFOs in a long time. And basically, like, questioning myself in my head. Because I used to see them when I was younger. And then 2 days later, when I was driving home, I went to the dollar store to get oil for my car. And I was driving home. I seen a triangle-shaped craft the size of a football field. I was driving and it was like across the street where I live at. And so I was driving and I pulled underneath it. And it has lights on each corner. It's kind of like a yellow-ish light. And it has a red blinking light in the middle. It's huge. I don't know how big it was. It's pretty low to the ground, but it's big. Another time, I was with my grandmother, but another time my grandmother seen a saucer-shaped craft over top of her house, and she never believed in UFOs. And so she was out in the car with my aunt, and my aunt listened to music, and she was sitting there. This is a long time ago, many years ago, but she was sitting in the car, and my aunt was listening to music, and my grandmother, I wasn't there when it happened, but my grandmother told me this, and she was looking at this UFO, a saucer-shaped craft. She said it was like bigger than a van, but it was hovering near the tree line over top of her house. And so she said there was like a ball of light going around it. And she said it looked beautiful. It looked pretty. And it had like windows in it, like portholes or something. And she could see in it, but she couldn't see anything in it except there was like a pinkish, whitish light inside of the craft, but she couldn't see anything in it. And she was watching for a while, and my aunt eventually looked over, and then and my aunt said, "What are you looking at?" And my grandmother said, "I don't know. Look." And they watched it for a bit, and they eventually got out, and it disappeared. Another time, me, my brother, my grandmother, and my grandfather was was leaving to go to Walgreens. and our car was parked in front of our house. And we're fixing to leave. It was nighttime, and so I was fixing to leave, and I seen this light flash on the house, red, green, blue, really fast on front of the house. And I immediately got out. I was really quick. I looked right behind me because lights were facing in front of the house. I didn't see anything, so I started scanning the area where the driver's side, not driver's side, but the passenger side door, the van that has sliding doors, the passenger side back door looking straight ahead when you get out. Over top of, I'm not going to say the location because I don't want to give where I live at, but there's a place that is not a residence, but more of a kind of like business place. There was a saucer shape hovering over top of right near where we live at. That's a little further down. And everybody seen the flashing light. My brother got out at the same time, or near the same time I got out. And I was pointing to it saying, you see that? It's a UFO. He couldn't see it. But later on, he said he didn't see the UFO, but he seen a laser point on his chest. But outside of that, outside of that, I don't know what else he's seen. Now, I never. Also, another thing, I've never experienced like where I'm missing time or whatever. I don't know if I was abducted in my life, but if I was, I never know I was missing time or whatever.
Right.
So, and let's see here. The last thing I've seen, this is going to probably freak you out. Now, I don't know if this is my like imagination or whatever. I was sleeping in my room. I'm right next to the window. Our AC was broken, and this is summertime. This is a little while back. This last year in summer, and I had my window open with my fan in the window, and my bed's right next to the window. I was sleeping. When I woke up in the morning, I had this image in my head immediately when I woke up. I seen this creature in my window that had round cylinder eyes, and it was metal color, like a metal color, and eyes were the same as its mouth. It looked like a machine.
Wow.
But when I had this image, when I woke up, the image wasn't in my head daytime, because when I woke up it's daytime. The image that I had was night. It's still night. So I don't know what this all means. I have theories on could be possibility. And another time I've not seen a UFO, but it was like I was sitting outside and staring at the stars. This was a long time ago, many years ago. I was standing out on the front porch, and for some reason I had a feeling of looking up to my left, and I seen the sky warping. Like it was like warping. I couldn't tell. I couldn't figure out what was going on. It scared me, so I flew back in, slammed the door. I don't know what I've seen there.
I want to Travis, I want to get back to what you said about the shiny, the shiny face, the robotic type of image that you were looking at. What when you say robot, and I think that is a very, very, very descriptive, because that's the way it felt to you. It wasn't alive. It wasn't biological. Is that what you're suggesting?
Well, I didn't get really much detail. Like, only thing I've seen was like round cylinder eyes, but like metal color. It was nighttime. The image in my head was night. It was dark.
Right.
So I couldn't get any detail.
Right.
It didn't feel like a dream. It didn't feel like I was daydreaming. It just felt like it just had that image right when I woke up. And I didn't feel scared, and I didn't feel I was more like kind of like confused when I woke up, like seeing that image in my head.
It sounds like, Travis, that your whole family, well, I don't know if the whole family, but your family is part of this. This is a family thing. And I don't want to alarm you, but is that what they are thinking? Is that what, is this a family connection?
Well, my grandmother, she really doesn't know. She's not. She's basically say she don't care. Just don't. She don't want to see him or she don't want to meet him. Whatever. She's basically one of those people that she's seen him, but she's not like too interested in it or whatever.
Right. I understand that. I totally, I totally get that. And religion comes into play, and the way that she was brought up, all of that comes into the mix.
Yeah.
But do you talk to your friends about this?
Well, I don't really have friends. Like, I mean, I do, but I'm kind of like, I'm weird. Like, I want to have friends, but it's like most people I'm around. Like, I don't like, I can be very emotional. I could get emotional. It don't seem like that. Oh, by the way, I'm an ENTJ, if you ever heard of the Myers-Briggs test.
Mm-hmm.
Or ENTP. I don't have, like, my life has not been great. I have problems reading and spelling. My mother, when I was little, before I was born, my mother tried to kill me, or she tried to abort me. She was kind of like crazy, whatever. Or that's what my dad said, so whatever. My dad don't like me either. But I remember when I was 3 or 4. Like, I can remember when I was 3 or 4 years old. And I remember, like, my dad, he drunk and smoked pot with his friends. And my mother, she was kind of like, when she was, she was going around saying that people was after her, like, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And when she was, like, young, she was like also like put in a all girls school, whatever, or something like that. Like she was in a mental institution and all that. And I don't really know her much, but she lives on the streets off and on. But my dad was supposedly my mother ran into my dad's car so she can meet him. She was stalking him or something like that.
Well, if that hadn't happened, you wouldn't be on the air with me right now. So you got that going for you.
Right. Yeah.
And see, this is the thing. Agree. This is the thing, Travis. And I want you to really understand what I'm about to say. This show, the audience and the family that is built around this show, you've got friends here, man. And you are, you understand what I'm saying, but what I mean is you can come over here, you can come hang out, Twitter, you can call into the show. You've got friends, and whatever it is that you want to share, trust me, as crazy as you may think it, you even said to me earlier, you're going to think this is really, well, you know what? I don't, number one. And number two,
I haven't gotten to the crazy part.
Yeah, okay. And I can't wait to hear it. But the other thing is, no matter what you will say or write or tweet, somebody's going to come back to you and go, you know what? I went through the same thing. Let's talk about it. And that's the beautiful part about this. That's the beautiful part about this show.
Yeah, I agree with that. But I never. I'm gonna get into what this could all mean.
Okay, let's get to that because, Travis, I'm just going to give you the heads up. I do have to head towards a break at the, in about 8 minutes. So tell me where this is all going. Tell me the real crazy part. I want to hear it.
Okay. So basically, I believe we're in a simulation. You ever heard of the simulation theory?
Absolutely.
I believe we're in a simulation. And so, now these UFOs and stuff like that are somehow like whoever made this simulation is used to control what the, if you ever look at like algorithm, like AI, self-learning AI algorithms, like machine learning, only the strongest like survives and like the offspring goes forward. And maybe the UFOs are helping out certain groups so they don't die off or something like that. And also, I'm also for like freedom of speech and stuff like that, and freedoms and all that. And I've been also trying to figure out. I had this idea for a while. You ever heard of cryptocurrency or Bitcoin?
Of course.
Okay. I knew about Bitcoin when it was like under $1, but I didn't really pay attention until it got $20 when like Greece was going wrong, whatever.
Right.
And so I knew about a while, and its potential could be used for good or bad. You can, if you ever heard of Sesame Credit, the social credit score in China.
Yep.
They can integrate that into cryptocurrency and make a world currency that controls everybody and everything they do. But you can also have a currency that is totally free and not controlled by governments or corporations or whatever. And I had this idea using a end-to-end, real-time encrypted, peer-to-peer mesh network blockchain using quantum entanglement for the data transfer. Because it's an idea, well, Einstein called it spooky action at a distance. And some scientists say that you can't transmit data through quantum entanglement, but I say there could be a possibility.
I think they're wrong. I think they're wrong. I think you can transfer data through quantum entanglement, and that's how you can do not only stuff across this universe, but which would be, in real time, much faster than many thousands of times faster than the speed of light, and the closer you are, the less of a difference, the further you are away. But that being said, an intelligent civilization out there that would figure out quantum entanglement and this type, they wouldn't be transferring one electron or one photon, and entangling that. They would be entangling massive amounts. And that's where the data transfer would happen. And so I agree with you 100%, Travis. Keep going. This is good stuff.
So on the currency, it'd be a mesh network, and basically it'd be a physical coin. It won't be a digital coin, it'd be a physical coin. And it will, all the other coins everybody have be a mesh network communicating. So it'd be like having a coin be like a physical computer or device that you can use to like upload videos or make phone calls or something like that.
Sure.
And you can transmit data. And the value of the currency would be based off of information. So if governments or corporations start censoring people, the value of the currency will be devalued. So that will prevent censorship in the people. And that's what we're having the biggest problem right now is censorship. If we lose the ability of freedom of speech or ability to speak freely, we are enslaved. And that's our last hope. That's the one thing we cannot let go is freedom of speech.
Man. Travis, you're on to something. So that would, and this is what I get out of that. If you lie, right? Lie, negative, fake news, bad data, you're broke. So that would force, if you know what I'm saying, right? You would be devalued, And the only way to kick up the value of yourself and your morals and the money in your pocket is to be straight with everybody, and your information is on the level. That's incredible, man. That's an incredible idea. That is really good.
Let's clear up something. Fake news is, my opinion, is used to keep, basically, the reality is transformative. It's not, if we're living in simulation, reality is transformative. I believe humans can control reality. I believe we as humans, or wherever we are, we can control the reality of the simulation. And the world powers, the world elites are trying to keep the information away from people. And I believe a lot of this, we may be able, I'm not a Christian or anything. If anything, I'm a Buddhist or Hinduist or shamanist. I'm more leaning those ways. I do have Native American in me. I do have some Cherokee Indian in me. My grandfather's father was 60% Cherokee Indian or something. My family last name heritage is actually considered royalty in England. We actually have a castle and county named after us, and we were considered royalty. And I think we can go further back as the Vikings. We have Viking in us too.
Hey, Travis, do me a favor.
Yeah.
Don't change. Don't you change a thing about you. All right?
I don't change.
Don't you change. Hey man, I gotta take a break right here and get to a commercial. And thank you for hanging out with us, and I look forward to our next conversation.
Well, thank you. But for all the viewers, I'm not making this stuff up.
Oh, we know that.
I know a lot of people online. There's a lot of people online that's out for UFOs or anything like that. It's out for the money or fame, and a lot of people. I don't know. I'm just one person, but I'm not out for money or fame. I just want to look for the truth. I want the truth, and if you want the truth, you can't go for money or fame. You got to search for it.
Don't change, Travis. But you know what? You're famous now. Travis, have a good night, man. Have a good night. All right, man. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. And that's a great phone call right there. Thank you so much, Travis. Love first-time callers. Travis brought his A game tonight. Who's gonna call in and try to top that? I'm your host, Jimmy Church. This is Fade to Black. More of your phone calls are next. It's Thursday. It's Fadernight. I'll be right back.
Hey, what up, y'all? Sugar Vivica Fox here, and you are listening to my boy, Jimmy Church, on JimmyChurchRadio.com.
Despite popular opinion, reading a book will not make you smarter.
But listening to Jimmy Church will.
Hurricanes, earthquakes, wildfires. This year we've experienced more than our fair share. This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black. And last month I decided to make sure my family does not have to worry about food should we get caught in a real emergency situation. Introducing Numana, a healthy, storable product that tastes so good that you'll want to eat it every day instead of just during those times of duress. All Numana products have a 25-year shelf life, are MSG and GMO-free, no preservatives, and are made in America. With the Numana pack in your home, you'll be able to sleep at night knowing that you've protected your family. Not only have I tasted and tested, I own it. Now you can too. Just click on the Numana banner on JimmyChurchRadio.com and use the promo code Jimmy when you order. In addition to a discount, we'll send you an autographed Fade to Black t-shirt. Seriously, go Beckley Tappy. This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and I take Life Change Tea supplements every single day. It's what I do. Click on their banner at JimmyChurchRadio.com. When you take the beans from Central America with dashes of Indonesian and African mixed in and then roast it to the dark side of fade to black, you create the ultimate brew of fringe. Introducing the Fade to Black blend from River Moon Coffee. Yes, River Moon's darkest customized roast was created for the love of Fade to Black. The alchemy of masterful roasting and smoking the beans is in every sip of this full-bodied, dark Java. I need my coffee dark, deep, with distinct bittersweet chocolate highlights, just like the bunker. Leaning further into the darkness of the roast is Fade to Black blend from River Moon Coffee. Just click on the banner at jimmychurchradio.com and use the promo code F2BBLEND for 15% off of your order today. Go Beckley Teppy.
Hi folks, CBD is the home run hitter for health right now. Why, you ask? Because of what it does for the body. Unfortunately, I can't tell you all about the benefit. You know, there's reasons. Do your due diligence and log on to ancientlifeoil.com. That's ancientlifeoil.com. Ancient Life Oil uses organic ingredients and is blended in coconut oil for some of the best benefits. Legal in 50 states and non-psychoactive. Log on to ancientlifeoil.com. That's ancientlifeoil.com.
This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and my family is safe because of Numana Emergency Food Storage. Just go to the Numana banner at jimmychurchradio.com. Promo code Jimmy10.
Are you intrigued by Paranormal Talk Radio? You'll love the new Paranormal Radio app from TalkStream Live. You'll find a great selection of talk shows covering UFOs, ghosts, strange phenomena, and much more. Download the Paranormal Radio app now and start listening to the very best in paranormal talk entertainment, including the network you're listening to right now, the Paranormal Radio app, free in Google Play and the iOS App Store.
Erica, Brittany, Gabby, and you're listening to JimmyChurchRadio.com.
It's not a lifestyle we chose. We were born this way. KGRARadio.com.
This is KJCR at JimmyChurchRadio.com.
All right, welcome back. Fade to Black, Thursday night, Fadernight. Barely got this show off the ground. If you only knew how many technical calls I have been on over the last 4 days and getting this hardware and software set up for the new phone system. It was a nightmare and barely got through the week. And so tonight it's bougie. It's bougie. You can tell, but we were able to put everything together and somehow get phone calls in and do all of this. So that being said, next Fader night we'll have the new phone system in. Hopefully it'll be done by tomorrow, and we'll hit the ground running on Monday. But next Fader night, it's going to be really, really, really cool. I'm so excited and so looking forward to it. But this being the last Fader night with the last phone system, it wouldn't be a real Fader night if it wasn't for, oh man, you know what I just did? And people are listening to me right now. I just hung up on 4 straight phone calls. 4. And I apologize. I didn't mean to do that. And I know everybody's going, wait a minute. I was there. I just hung up on 4. So let's just go to Deb in Sacramento. Deb, how you doing? Can't have a Fader night without you. I literally, and see, now you were probably sitting there on hold listening to the phones ring, right? And I'm having to do this dance and trying to get stuff on hold and trying to get stuff answered. It's absolutely nuts. And so I'm sitting here lining stuff up, and I literally hung up on everybody. So, and now they're ringing again. Let me see if I can get rid of some of these. Okay. All right. Can you hear me clearly?
I can hear you clearly, but intermittently you can hear like a weird ringing sound.
Oh yeah, it's crazy. It's bougie, man. It's bougie.
Yeah, it is.
It's bougie.
It's interesting, though. It's entertaining.
Well, I'm just trying to get through the night, and answering calls like that one at a time, and muting and doing the dance. Everybody's watching me probably on the bunker cam, just going nuts. But anyway, you're here. What's on your mind tonight?
Well, so this is trippy, Jimmy. Recently, our stepfather, who we only spent like a year and a half with, passed away. And I hadn't thought about him in years and years and years because my mom was only married to him about a year and a half. And it was from the age of, I was 6 and my sister was 7. And he was an engineer for Lockheed. And again, I haven't thought about this man. I'm 58 years old. And so that's how young we were. So it's been that many years. And once they divorced, we never saw him again, ever. And so recently we got word that, he had passed. And so, I started thinking about Lockheed. I'm like, that's right. He was an engineer for Lockheed. And, he was wealthy and everything. And my mom had already been divorced for a long time before she even met him. And they married very quickly. And so it was kind of going down. I made the Lockheed connection. I had a memory that we used to, every night, because he worked late in the evening, my mom would pack his lunch, get us in the car, and she'd drive out to where he was, and they'd have these big hangars out there on the base, and we'd walk into the hangars and take him his lunch, and she'd visit with him, and then she'd put us in the car, and we'd drive back home because he always had a late schedule. And this was like during the week all the time. And the weird thing, once I started thinking about it, I thought, I remember the ride in the car. I remember walking up to the hangar, and I have no memory of ever walking all the way to his office once we got inside, what it looked like, ever seeing him in there. I had no memory. It was completely blank. And I thought, that's really weird. And so then I asked my sister, I said, do you remember when we used to take, Lonnie his lunch and out to the base and blah, blah. Yeah, I go, do you remember ever, once we got in there, what it looked like, or people, or any? She goes, no, I don't have any memory of that at all. I go, really? Not one? She goes, no. And this went on for about a year of this, taking him his lunch every night. It was a routine. Well, my mom's 84, so I don't really expect her to have a memory of it, and she doesn't. But once we had a little powwow and started talking, my sister and I, we have almost no memory of that time that we lived with him.
You know how weird.
We remember other things in our lives, like other family members and occasions, but we don't remember him. I mean, his working situation and stuff, and that time around there.
As weird as that may sound to some people, I was talking to Rita about something about a month ago, and this is. It's a little bit personal, but I'm just going to say this in a general term. I can remember, because we moved around a lot, but I can pretty much remember every bedroom that I ever had, right? Where the dresser was, where the bed was, clothes and stuff like that. I can remember, except my bedroom in this one apartment where I lived in Chicago, and it was during 4th grade. Now, I can look at, and I've gone and looked at the apartment on Google Earth, right, and looked at my bedroom window, right, windows, and I can see it.
Yeah.
But I cannot remember sleeping in that room. I can't remember dressers. I can sort of picture the bunk beds, I guess, but I do not remember sleeping or being in that room. And it's weird. I mean, I've got memories of everything. But that little window, and it was about a year there, but I don't remember any of it. Isn't that crazy?
It is. It's trippy.
I remember spending the night over at my friend John's house across the street, And I would spend the night there, on the weekends, and sleepovers and doing all those things that you do in the fourth grade. I remember his bedroom perfectly. Right? I remember all of that. I don't remember my own room. And I don't. It's like this crazy block. And I don't know why. I don't have any negative. I don't have anything crazy that went on. Not that I know of, but I don't have any memories of it.
Well, the reason I started, and you were 9 years old, and at 7 and 8, we had pretty good. I mean, my sister and I remember a lot of our childhood. It was because it was very dramatic, unfortunately, and I can't tell this to her, but I'm thinking my thoughts, maybe we saw something, we were being blank slated, because I make the Lockheed connection.
Right.
And he was an engineer, and it was inside one of those big hangars. I thought, well, what the hell was he working on,
Yeah.
And were we being blank slated constantly through that year and a half? Because we literally.
Do you remember everything? But do you remember everything else in that period?
Yeah.
Me too. That same period in that apartment. Yeah, that same period in that apartment. School, my friends, the adventures, the walking around, all the stuff, the playground, the winters, sledding on hills. I remember all of it. And there were great memories. I don't remember sleeping in that bedroom. Not once.
Maybe
not even
E.T.
once.
was visiting you and blank slating you during that. Yeah, it makes you wonder.
Maybe I never slept in there. But I don't remember sleeping on the couch. I don't remember sleeping on the floor. I just don't remember it. I don't remember getting dressed for school. I don't remember the dressers. I don't remember it. Yeah, it's just a trippy thing.
It is trippy.
I can go back 5 years old, 4 years old. I remember all of that. But that one apartment, that one bedroom, I've got zilch. I got nothing, man. I've got nothing. It's trippy.
It makes you wonder if you were being blank slated.
Yeah, well, at Lockheed
connection, or what the heck were you seeing?
Lockheed. You never know, man. You never know. That's a great memory and a great phone call. Great lack of memory. Deb, enjoy the rest of your night. All right, and we'll see you next week on Fadernight with the new phone system. We'll see you then.
Yeah. Well, take care, Jimmy. You guys, really have a good weekend.
Yeah, you too, Deb. Thank you so much. Deb from Sacramento. All right, let's go to area code 254. You are up next on Fadernight. Who's calling?
Hello, Jimmy. This is Captain White of the Sovereign Colonies Armed Forces Broadcast. How are you doing tonight?
Wow, that sounds too official for me.
All right. Hey, listen, Jimmy, I've been trying to get a hold of you for a really long time, and I've got some real hairy stuff that's going on right now, and that's that I am an advocate for targeted individuals, and I interview targeted individuals every night, every day. They call me, I call them, we have conversations. And you have been such an inspiration to me over the last few years as I've been listening to you, and I've taken hints and things that you do and the way that you conduct yourself. And it's kind of the way that I like to, when I call somebody, I call them out of the blue. I'm like, because I get their information off the savantsprojects.com. There's a database for targeted individuals. And so I call these people out of the blue and I say, hey, look, I understand that you are a targeted individual and I'd like to speak with you. And then they spill their guts out to me, man. It's like they tell me their story. And what I do, because I bootleg plenty of your stories, man. You've talked to Michael Fitzhugh-Bell and all these other people. And that's where I kind of got started until I got involved with actually contacting these targeted individuals, and the stories that they tell are off the charts. Scary. Are you following, Jimmy?
I am. I
don't want to ramble on. I don't want to ramble on too long here. I'm excited to be on the program.
Well, and I don't, with this, okay, let me back up before I even say I don't or I didn't.
Yeah.
But years ago, I did a fair amount, not a whole lot, but a fair amount of research into targeted individuals. And what I did find out, then I walked away from it. It freaked me out too much, right? So I did a clean break. I did a clean break, and I did a clean break for a variety of reasons. First off, it's disturbing. The second thing, disturbing for too many reasons to list right here. We're at the end of the night here. We'll run out of time. So it's disturbing on that level. The second, if I was to communicate with any of them like you have, I don't want to upset somebody that may already be pretty freaked out, right? And I don't want to be responsible for that. That's that part. And then going beyond that, the other reason why I walked away was that I didn't realize, and there was a fourth reason too, but I didn't realize how big the community was. It's a big community, and the community that is there supporting each other and hanging out is very, very dedicated. And I knew that if I got into it, I might not ever leave. So that was my third. And my fourth reason, which was right on the tip of my tongue, was and the fourth reason was I found a few individuals in that community that weren't trustworthy. That I felt that they were messing with other people and that were probably out and out making things up. Now, this goes back, well, anybody does that in any community, but I'm talking about some very, very deliberate, nefarious, negative individuals out there. And I just didn't want to get involved with it. It was just for all of those reasons, right? And I had to back off. I had to walk away.
I understand, Jimmy, and I really appreciate you having me on. I've struggled so long, and I've bootlegged so many of your programs, and I've tried to contact you for so long, and it's just a fluke. And all of a sudden, here I am on the show, and I'm kind of caught off guard myself. But I would like for us to continue to remain in contact one way or the other. Can we do that?
Yeah, sure. You've got my email. It's easy enough to do, and that's probably the fastest, quickest way to get me to respond, and certainly to share data too as well. But that's what I would do. And is there a show in the future? It's possible. And like I said, it's not my focus of research anymore. I walked away from it it's probably been 10 years, and
it's scary.
Yeah, it's a dark world. It
takes a lot of balls, man, to get in there, man, and to mix it up with the big boys. I'll tell you that much.
I hear you. Well, you've got my email. So, which is, it's very simple, Jimmy@jimmychurchradio.com. And stay in touch, okay? And there may be a show in the future. I just don't want to freak people out, and also I don't have a whole lot of knowledge. My knowledge is out of date. You know what I mean?
Hey, Jimmy, just have me on in the future, man. Just contact me. Just have me on. I want to be on there, man. I want to tell what I know, and I want to share the things that I know, man, because it's really hairy.
Okay, you've got my email. Let's see what we can do.
Thank you, sir. You have an awesome night.
Thank you so much. You got it, man. Yeah, targeted individuals. That's a dark world. That is a dark, and you get into it and you read about people's experiences and what they are going through. It's tormenting on one part. It's pure terror. And then there's the mental aspect to it as well. That is it's absolutely unbelievable. So with that, let me see what I've got going on here. Let me do this. I got to do this. Let's go to area code 949. You are up next on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hi, Jimmy. My name is Andy. How are you this evening?
I'm doing good, Andy. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. I've never called into a talk show before in my life, so this is a first for me. But I wanted to recount a missing time experience that I had while I was in college.
What happened?
Well, let me preface this by that I have been a member of Ciro Yvonne's Smith Group for approximately 3 years.
Okay.
Most of the event I can remember without any hypnotic regression. But some of it I did have to get regression to get down to the kind of minute details. But anyways, on to my story. I was attending Arizona State University in the mid to late 90s when Pat Tillman and Jake Plummer were there. And I belonged to a fraternity. And during spring break, me and some of my fraternity brothers decided to take a road trip to Rocky Point, Mexico, which is approximately 3 to 4 hour drive. And it was a popular spring break destination for students attending Arizona State and even University of Arizona and Northern Arizona University.
In Tempe.
So me and my brothers, pardon me?
In Tempe.
Yes.
Okay, gotcha.
And me and my fraternity brothers, there was 3 plus me, so there was a total of 4 of us. And we left probably, my best estimate was between 9 and 10 o'clock at night. Keeping in mind it was only going to be 3 or 4 hours, but we were young, we were stupid, so it would probably only take us 2 hours because we were going to speed. But the plan was to get there and start hitting up some of the bars and, you know, go out, drink, and hopefully meet some women from other universities.
What year was this?
It was approximately, my best estimate would be 1996.
Yeah, I was hanging out in Tempe in 1996 with the Gym Blossoms and everything else that was going on with Arizona State. That was a crazy, crazy time to be at Arizona State. Okay, so continue.
So we left, and once we crossed into the Mexico border, which is Highway 8, and I just want to bring that up so that yourself and other listeners can go to Google Maps. It's a very desolate highway once you cross the Mexican border to Rocky Point. And we were driving, and I was sitting behind the driver, and I had a fraternity brother to my right, and then the driver in front of me, and there was a passenger sitting next to the driver. And in the middle was like a divider, a pretty big divider that divided the opposing traffic. And I noticed a lot of debris up ahead moving in a circular motion. And I could see sand and like tumbleweeds and stuff moving around. And as we got closer, I noticed white lights in the shape of a trapezoid moving counterclockwise. And I couldn't see the outline of anything. I couldn't see the shape of the craft. I could just see these trapezoid lights moving counterclockwise in a circle, and the debris moving up into the air, kind of like a tornado. And for some reason, I didn't say anything. And approximately 10 to 15 minutes later, I kind of came to, and we were driving on the road, and my fraternity brother that was sitting in the front right seat next to the driver said, "Hey, was that a UFO that was in the middle of the highway on the ground?" And we all kind of said, "Yeah, I think so." And that was it. There was not a single word said. We didn't discuss it. It was just, we kept on going.
Wow.
Well, when we arrived to Rocky Point, and keep in mind this should have only been a 3 or 4 hour drive, probably less than that because we were speeding. It was probably about 6 or 7 a.m. in the morning. It was daylight. The sun was up. And what should have been a fun-filled time was absolutely horrible for all of us. We were all sick. We basically slept the entire time we were there. It was like we had this huge hangover, all of us. We didn't talk and meet any girls. We tried to go to a bar late morning to early afternoon, and nobody was in the mood to do anything. And we actually ended up driving home or going back to the fraternity house earlier because we were just so miserable.
Now, I've only got about 90 seconds left before the end of the show. What was your name again?
Okay. Andy.
Andy?
Yes.
Okay, Andy, really quick, just answer as quick as you can. Did any of your fraternity brothers have memories of it? Did you guys talk about it after that? As quick as you can.
Absolutely, we did not.
Isn't that nuts? It is. That is what I would like to do is next week on Fadernight, Andy, you need to call back and let's do part 2, right? And let's follow up. There's way too much detail here to just let this phone call go. But unfortunately, the show ends and the network starts another program here in about 2.5 minutes, and I've got to get out of here. But this is pretty incredible, and I also want to know what Yvonne had to say and what happened with the regression too as well. There's a whole lot more to this, isn't there?
Yes, I've been having experiences. Vivid memories since approximately the age of 4 or 5 that I don't need any hypnotic regression at all whatsoever.
Well, Andy, will you get back in touch with this next Thursday night?
Absolutely, I will, Mr. Church.
Thank you so much, Andy. Behave and be well. And when you call back next week, I'll tell you Jim Blossom's story. You know where the power lines are, right? The power lines that go right up to Arizona State. Underneath those power lines, the Jim Blossoms had a studio there. And one night we're recording, and a car lost control and drove through the studio while we were sitting there. I'll tell you the whole story. I'll tell you the whole story next week. It was nuts. Why? This was in 1996, by the way. So you were there when that went down.
Yes.
Andy, behave and be well, man. Enjoy the rest of your night, and we'll finish this story next week.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much. That's a great phone call right there. And with that, we got through this Fader night somehow with this bougie phone system, but we got her done. Fade to Black's executive producer is Rita Camarion. Show is produced by Hilton J. Palm, Renee, Dennis, and Bob. Announcers are Steve Harder, Gene Vito, and Mark D. Kovar. Webmaster is Drew the Geek. Music, Doug Aldrich. Intro, Spaceboy, spaceboymusic.com. Fade to Black is produced by KJCR for the Game Changer Network, and syndication is KGRA, The Planet. This broadcast owned and copyrighted 2019 by Fade to Black and the Game Changer Network. It cannot be rebroadcast, downloaded, copied, or used anywhere in the known universe without written permission from Fade to Black or the Game Changer Network. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Everybody have a great, safe, wonderful weekend. We'll see you right here on Monday. Until then, be safe. Go Beckley Teppy.